What's up everybody, it's Joe here with Joseph Blake Photography, and in today's video we're going to talk about the surprise release announcement from Canon of the 28-70 f2.8 STM lens. I don't think anybody saw this coming, but I'm excited. Let's talk about it. Real quick before we jump into talking about this lens, I am Joe. This is my channel. This is where we talk about tech and gear and news and reviews and how-tos and adventures and all the things that have to do with creating content here on YouTube, on social media, really anywhere that you're doing it. This is the channel where we talk about that kind of stuff. Socials down below. Check out my website, check out my blog. Yes, I am a Canon shooter. Let's talk about this lens. So this came as a complete surprise. We got notice yesterday that this was going to be coming out. This video is going to be coming out on Friday. So this lens was announced on Thursday, and really we got notice of it Wednesday night. But what a little fun surprise to wake up to. So Canon has been developing all kinds of new lenses for the RF mount. And one of the things that people have been really talking about quite a bit, myself included, is the fact that a lot of those lenses have been L lenses. I actually have an entire video that I've been working on about the entire lens lineup and what to buy and what they need to add and all that. And I have to scrap most of it now because this lens actually lands right in the middle of one of the largest critiques that I had in that video, which is that Canon didn't have a standard zoom that was high quality, but also moderately priced. This is a 28 to 70 millimeter. That's a standard zoom range. f2.8, so it is consistently f2.8 across the entire focal range. So it has a fixed potential aperture. STM. So let's start from the beginning. Let's really just break that down. 28 millimeters. That is moderately standard wide. Not as wide as the 24 millimeters that we see in some of the other lenses of this range. 24 to 70 is a pretty common one, but 28 to 70 is also rather common in this kind of make up this market of lenses. 70 millimeters is pretty much at the far end of your standard zoom range before you get into 85 and 100 and 135. With this f2.8 aperture, it has more ability to capture light. It can bring in more light, one full stop of light more than the 24 to 70, than some of the other lenses that cover this particular zoom range, specifically the kit lens that comes with most of our full frame cameras, the 24 to 105 f4. That's this one right here. That's the 24 to 105 f4. This is a great lens. It is inexpensive. It is lightweight. For the quality that you get, it is image stabilized, but it's f4, and this lens is f2.8. It also includes image stabilization. Canon has said that image stabilization is 7.5 stops when coupled with an in-body image stabilized sensor like in the R6, the R5, the R3, the R1, or the R7. So far, we're ticking all the boxes that we normally have in our L lenses. Canon has never released an f2.8 in this zoom range that is not an L lens, ever. Not since the EF mount was introduced. Now, here's the last thing. STM. What does that mean? That's their stepping motor. It's the motor that causes the autofocus to work, that moves the glass around and gets that focus working. Canon has a couple of different versions, and the STM is kind of the bottom version. It's the entry-level version. Lenses like the 24 to 105 have a USM motor. That's an ultrasonic motor. It's fast, it's quiet, it's super accurate. The STM motor, not as fast, not as quiet, not as accurate, potentially. But that's really the only place where I can see that this lens doesn't stack up to its L-level competitors. You might say, what about the optics inside? What about the glass? So this lens comes with 15 elements, right? Those are the pieces of glass inside the lens that make the optics work. And they're in 12 different groups. And those groups can move around as it relates to zooming and focus. But two of those lens elements are what are called UD, or ultra low dispersion elements. These are elements that allow to better focus the light coming into the glass and to reduce things like chromatic aberration and some of the other optical distortions that you might see when you have a lens with this many parts. It also has two aspherical elements. It's a different shape. So it's got two UD elements, two aspherical elements. It's got image stabilized up to 7.5 stops, but that image stabilization is improved. It has an STM motor, but it's an improved STM motor, and it's 28 to 70 f2.8 along the entire zoom range. I'm waiting for the part about this other than the focus motor that doesn't make this an L lens. The weight comes in under 500 grams, which if you're someone like me who does a lot of adventuring with our photography gear, a lens like this one that weighs, I think 600 or 700 grams, the weight starts to stack up. If you watched my 14 to 35 review, the main reason I got that lens was because it weighs close to 400 grams. And this one comes in just under 500 grams. For that zoom range, that is phenomenal, especially considering the fact that it's an f2.8 lens with IS. We might say, I'm sure it doesn't have a control ring like other L lenses, right? That you can configure. It absolutely does have a control ring. We might say it's not going to be weather sealed like other L lenses. It is weather sealed. So again, other than that focus motor, what about the price? It's $10.99. This is my Tamron from 13 years ago. This is a 24 to 70 f2.8 vibration compensated with a UD element. This one was $1,400 when it was new because Canon didn't have an image stabilized version in the 24 to 70 range. So I got this instead. This one's only $10.99. Being super light, being RF mount capable, it's only 67 millimeters in the front, which means you will have to adapt your larger filters, and the barrel does extend in the zoom range. But those things aren't outside of the realm for high quality glass. The other thing that Canon's talking about is the fact that with the RF mount and connected to newer Canon cameras, we're sure that this lens is not going to have the kind of optical quality that a super high-end 24 to 70 f2.8 or the 28 to 70 f2 has. But those lenses are $2,400 and $3,000. This one's $1,100. Unless you absolutely need the best optical quality, I think this thing is a no-brainer if you don't have a lens in this zoom range and you want the light capture that f2.8 can bring you. In those RF mount cameras, the optical kind of correction, whether it's profile illumination correction, whether it's vignetting, whether it's chromatic aberration, whether it's focus breathing, which I'm sure this lens has. All lenses have this to a certain extent, some more than others, and as you get less expensive in some of the components and the design, I'm sure that there'll be some of that. But they're leaning on the capability of the camera to fix some of that in camera, as well as utilizing the image stabilization and processing power inside the camera to do a lot of this work. Really, the RF mount unlocks this capability with the amount of bandwidth that you can use there in terms of merging the capabilities of the lens and the camera. So that means that we'll get some really interesting, really low-cost lenses like this in the future that maybe aren't L level, but close. And instead of throwing a USM motor in it or much more expensive lens elements, they keep the cost and the size and the weight down, and we get the value as customers. And I am super excited. Now, we will need to test out the optical quality. We'll need to see how fast that improved STM motor is. We'll need to see how good that improved image stabilization is and how much it's relying on the camera. And then we'll know for absolute certain. But I get the feeling like this thing is going to be just a phenomenal value for folks who don't want to or can't spend $2,500 to $3,000 on a standard zoom range lens. And I think coupled with a camera like the R10, the R8, the R7, the R6, this is going to be a phenomenal kit. Now, obviously it won't be for everybody, but if you're like me and you still are holding on to some of those EF lenses, like my old Tamron here, because you just can't bring yourself to spend the money necessarily on a gigantic 1 kilogram brick to put in your bag, let me know down in the comments. Anyway, I'm excited by this announcement. It was a surprise. Maybe we'll get more cool surprises soon, but very cool, very exciting. I'm super happy that we're continuing to get new lenses. I gotta redo my whole lens video that I was working on. But if you're into this kind of thing, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And I've got blog posts up on my blog about composition, as well as how to choose a good photographer and location from me, a Las Vegas portrait photographer. You can also follow me down on all the socials. Links to my gear down below. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.